On the Bright Side is brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
The last time Juan Gonzalez was in front of a camera, he was 15 years old in Mexico. He was caught stealing at a shoe factory.
I remember the first time I never have to thief a pair of shoes or a pants or a t-shirt. They just give me, and sometimes I talk bad to them, and what they come to do is to give me a hug and say, take your time and everything will be all right. And that things come to a stranger to me because I'm already forgot all about good things on family or the association, right?
He took me back to a time in his life as a young adult battling drug abuse. He was a tourist in Central America, but not on vacation. Juan was fighting his demons of addiction, running from the law and running from the reality of his life.
Now I could say, and those times I never realized, but now I could say I used to lose the hope. I used to have the sense of life. I reached to a point that I don't care about even myself, you know. I just try to survive. I just try to take what I want, you know, anytime I want. That's why I go through a lot of problems. Your body feel needs, right? You feel hungry. You feel like you want to sleep, you know. And so you feel when you have those addicts. You feel like you need to support that. You don't feel well without it, you know. And you have to looking for it. And that is the problem when you have the need, and a lot of people don't trust you anymore because they already then brings you to another things, push you to do things worse, you know. But it's very hard.
In 2005, Juan joined the REMAR rehabilitation program. What started as a myopic view to find peace after a 3-year prison sentence turned into a long-lasting friendship, spiritual peace, and comfort.
We are a ministry that don't rely on any psychiatrists or psychologists at all, any medication. Everybody that comes into the ministry or comes into the center does cold turkey withdrawals, and we help them through the love of God and through each other. We don't replace a drug with a drug. We replace a drug with support. Support from the people, support from your responsibles or the people that are in charge, support from me or my wife or even my kids. At the end of the day, that's the fundamental of REMAR, is that we all live in community, we all stand together, we're all together. And if one person goes through a tough time, we all stand together with that person and we push that person through. And that's what it's about. We don't replace one drug with one drug, we replace a drug with support.
REMAR Belize was established 25 years ago in 1997. What looks like a storefront of thrift goods supports a machinery of goodwill behind the scenes. One of its primary services is rehabilitation for persons fighting issues of abuse. Whether it's abuse of drugs or women and children facing abuse, their rehabilitation program provides service through various facets of support.
It takes a person with a real bad addiction, maybe between 15 and 30 days to get off drugs completely. It takes about a year for the drug to release or to leave the body exactly. Then you know that you are totally clean off the drugs or the alcohol. A lot of the drug rehabilitation centers you go to, if you come in for drugs or alcohol, anything like that, they replace it with a certain drug that you can get in a pharmacy or in a drugstore. Internationally, we don't do that because it's replacing one addiction with another addiction. And 99% of the times, the medication they give you is actually a little bit worse than what the addiction was, or the drug or the alcohol that you were on outside.
The uniqueness of REMAR's rehabilitation program goes beyond escaping the grip of addiction in an unconventional way. These persons offering support have been in the same position, either victims of abuse or substance abusers themselves.
Every person that's in the ministry has either had a bad background of abuse or with abuse from a relative or from a sibling or whatever the situation is. And we all basically come from the same backgrounds. I'm actually a drug addict myself, or was a drug addict for many years. I've been clean now almost 7 years. My wife, my testimony of my wife, I can say a little bit as well. My wife only dipped in a little bit into the situation of drugs. She comes from abusive relationships. She actually ran away from a abusive relationship with her 2 kids with nothing, just with the clothes on their backs, and that's it. So at the end of the day, for them to contact me or to contact Felicia, my wife can actually talk them through it because she's been there, she's done it, and there's a few other ladies that's in the ministry as well that have gone through that situation as well. So it's a matter of them interacting with somebody else that's gone through the same situation, for them to see where their power is and to see where their options is, for them to cut that link between the person that's abusing them and themselves.
Helping persons fight addiction similar to Juan's is only a part of the work REMAR does. The organization also supports other vulnerable groups in Belize. The resurgence of a feeding program for children in the morning is also taking place, and the facility will also provide meals in the afternoon for displaced persons and the elderly. But REMAR does not take full credit. Its service comes from a collective effort with stakeholders, both internationally and locally.
We're also in the position now, because we've been really abundantly blessed through all the people that are actually helping us in Belize, that when we get, let's say, for example, milk, it's too much milk for us, then we support orphanages, we support the people in the streets, in the villages, all that type of stuff. We give out a bit of milk here and there. Whatever we've got, we don't keep for ourselves. Obviously, we've got our community. We use what we need to use in our community, and the rest we give out to whoever needs, to the poor, to the needy, and that's what we've got at the moment, yes.
But for people like Juan, REMAR represents a second chance at life, a second attempt at making it right. Where he once shoplifted clothing, Juan now sells it. We stopped in to see him, his wife, and his son making a day's earning at their stall at the Michael Finnegan Market on Saturday morning. This time around, the camera caught him earning an honest keep. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabreena Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
That's the sound of fuel efficiency. Every day, every time, I choose Uno Fuels, powered with Dynamax. Uno, a brand committed with the future.